theatricality and deception. Powerful agents to the uninitiated, but we are initiated.
I'm super excited!
Did either of you approve the shadow banning of my account at Lauren Boebert? Yes or no?
No, I did not.
Not to the best of my recollection.
Well, let me refresh your memory, because on March 12th, 2021, and Mr. Roth, I know you looked at it because Fascist Twitter 1.0 had a public interest exceptions policy, which means for members of Congress to be shadow banned, it had to go before you, Mr. Roth. So I'll ask again, did you shadow ban my account? Yes or no?
Again, not to the best of my recollection.
So the answer is, Mr. Roth, yes, you did. I found out last night from Twitter staff that you suppressed my account for this tweet. It's a freaking joke about Hillary Clinton being angry that she couldn't rig her election. It's a joke, but in response, being the sinister overlords that you all are, you placed a 90-day account filter so I could not be found. And now we see here that Twitter staff said the visibility filter on my account excluded me from top searches, prevented notifications for non-followers, and much more. This is considered an aggressive visibility filter. You silenced members of Congress from communicating with their constituents. You silenced me from communicating with the American people over a freaking joke. Now, who the hell do you think that you are? Election interference? Yeah, I would say that that was taking place because of you four sitting here. The Hunter Biden laptop story was suppressed. A sitting member of Congress was suppressed. A sitting president was banned from Twitter. You know, I bet that Putin is sitting in the Kremlin wishing he had as much election interference as you four here today. We've heard about threats to democracy. Well, what about shutting down a duly elected member of Congress? This is fundamental to our nation's governance, and you all attacked that very foundation. 230 protections? Well, those are for publishers, not for editors. And it's clear you were not acting as publishers, you were acting as editors. And Mr. Chairman, I think it's far past time that we remove 230 protections for big tech platforms who are abusing this protection. And let me just say, I'm not angry for myself. I'm not angry because I was silenced. I can reach out to Elon and to his staff, and I can see what's happened. And I can sit here today and hold you all in account. I am angry for the millions of Americans who were silenced because of your decisions, because of your actions, because of your collusion with the federal government. They can't reach out to Elon. They can't sit here today and hold you into account. We don't know where the FBI ends and Twitter begins.
All right, you guys, it's that time of the week to show you what social media has actually tried to take down on my page without any reasoning, just giving their own bullcrap excuses. So here we go. So here are a few videos that they actually took down and I won, so they slapped a label on it. This video is about people being kidnapped and the ways you can avoid it. Yeah, they blocked it right away before it even got one view. But I won. This one they took down, and it's showing you the people rising up against their government in France, which is very important for us to see. And the same thing with this one. In all fairness, I'll kind of give it to him. There was a little bit of rioting, people versing police, but nothing too violent, and it's stuff we should be able to see, based on a PG-13 rating. This one really got me. We all heard of that train derailment in Ohio, you know, releasing all those toxins and chemicals. Well, now they have these huge barrel-shaped barges things rolling down the river, and they've become stuck to the bridges. This was on the news, and they was afraid it was going to burst and leak toxins and stuff into the river. People need to know about this, but you see, they took it down. I won because they had no reason to actually block it. They was just trying to keep that information from getting out there.
Breaking at this hour, an intense mission to free 3 runaway barges that are pinned against a dam in the Ohio River near Louisville, Kentucky. They've been working on this overnight, and it's not getting any better. We know one of those barges now is sinking, and here is the problem. It is carrying 1,400 tons of highly flammable methanol. At this hour, we're told that nothing is leaking, but it is on the move as it sinks. Remember, just about 7 weeks ago, a train carrying toxic chemicals derailed in eastern Ohio. The concern would be, is this tributary, this Ohio River, being shared by some of the same disaster victims in East Palestine, about 400 miles away? A monster body of water and a monster barge situation going on right there. David Lee Miller is on the story for more, and I just concentrate on the water. I concentrate on how people are going to be affected. David.
Indeed, Harris, a lot of people are very concerned because the barge that has so many people worried contains, as you point out, more than 1,400 tons of poisonous methanol, and it is sinking. Authorities are closely watching potential health risks, especially because the Ohio River provides drinking water for 5 million people. Last month, following a train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, fears were raised that the river had been contaminated. A statement released by Louisville Emergency Management
This one is very, very important, and I fought it and lost, but they took it down before it could even get a few views. But this guy was going through the crowd of CNN, calling them out on their fake news. Nothing wrong with that at all. Freedom of speech. Could not win that video. They still kept it down.
So you guys won't even cover the real truth. You guys are a bunch of liars, a bunch of frauds. You guys are the real scum of the earth. Yeah, Hunter Biden's a crackhead. CNN, MSNBC, Hunter Biden and Joe Biden do illegal business deals in the Ukraine. Talk about that. Hunter Biden's a crackhead. The news will not cover that. Hunter Biden smoked crack. You guys, you can smoke all the crack you want. It's ABC News. Fake news. Oh, are you part of the fake news too? Yeah, Hunter Biden's a crackhead, guys. Y'all know Hunter Biden smokes crack. Look at y'all don't want to say. What about the laptop? Remember y'all said that laptop was fake? Remember the laptop's real? Remember that laptop's real, guys. Y'all try to hide the laptop's real. So guys, I'm saying this is a fake news media right here. All they do is lie. Should be ashamed of yourselves. Why don't y'all talk about some real news? The sex trafficking problem. Y'all don't talk about real news. You guys are all liars. You can't shut down the people. You can't shut down Primetime 99. I'm Alex Stein. I'm a real pimp on a blimp, unlike these liars. These people are disgusting. They won't ever talk about Hunter Biden. They don't ever talk about the business deals in Ukraine. But they want to sit here and talk about a misdemeanor bullcrap deal. Talk about the truth. Talk about the truth. You don't talk about the truth. You're all liars. You're pathetic. You cover. You guys cover for a corrupt government. Out here trying to do fake news, not in front of me. No fake news in front of Primetime Alex Stein. Not today. No fake news of me. Not when 99 Alex Stein's in town. When I come from Texas, the fake news stops. I'm not going to let it happen on my watch. You guys report on what's really happening. The sex trafficking, the fentanyl crisis. Talk about any Bill Clinton's getting blowjobs in the Oval Office. You guys don't want to talk about that. Hunter Biden's seen with Ukrainian prostitutes. You don't want to talk about that. It's funny, if y'all investigate, why don't y'all investigate Jeffrey Epstein? Why don't you investigate who he's sex trafficking to? You guys don't do that. Y'all are fake. Y'all are the fake news media liars. Who did Jeffrey Epstein sex traffic people to? Was Bill Clinton on there 26 times? I don't understand. I'm not allowed to stand out here. I love how it's one guy.
Just walk.
I'm just saying,
Just
I'm
have
the
to
one
walk.
guy you're bugging
You're
right
the
now.
one person not walking. That's right.
Okay, I'm walking.
You're the one person.
You guys are fake news media liars. You should be ashamed of yourselves. I'm happy you guys stopped your production. You guys are pathetic. Talk about some real news.
Here's a very interesting thing. Do you see the bottom middle picture? That is a picture of Miss Maxwell at Disney hosting some kind of event. Well, they tried to block that picture, just a picture, from getting out. I fought it and I won. And of course, we all know we can't talk about COVID or the vaccine on here, going against the agenda they're trying to push. So I can't say this one, but this one was recently blocked and it was a news report. It was on the news, but they still blocked it. And they hate it when I talk about celebrities. They tried to block this video of Rihanna at the Super Bowl. After the camera stopped rolling, she threw up the Illuminati pyramid symbol. They tried to block that right away. And they had no reason to. I won, got it restored. This one, on the news. They will not let me report about human remains in our food. Why? People need to know this. I fought it, and as you can see, I still lost the battle.
Genetic DNA evidence of children's teeth in the food, in the burgers, which linked it back to, was it not Wisconsin, Missouri or Wyoming, one of those states that's in the middle of nowhere, where they actually found human meat inside one of the processing plants at McDonald's. And they said, we're not sure how it's happened. Maybe somebody fell in there and they haven't reported it. But between McDonald's closing, the reports of the Japanese McDonald's tried to pass the buck, try to blame it on the Americans, saying, we got the food from the USA. It didn't come from here. And then they said, oh, you know what? That's probably somebody playing a prank. But they're closing a lot of branches down at McDonald's. And McDonald's traditionally, Nick, in the last 40, 50 years, has been one of the safest franchises you could buy. Because what they do is they do a very, very detailed demographic study of where you're going to put these McDonald's, about the income of the people, where they are, the population. They don't just put them randomly. They're very, very specific about where they are. So human meat in the McDonald's food, including children's teeth that have been ground up and put in there. Very disturbing.
But why?
But why? It's where they hide the bodies. That's what they're saying. You know how many children disappear every year? Where are they going to hide? Say if there's 250,000 children disappear in America every year, where are all the bodies? You know, most people, what are they going to do? Drive them along the highway? They always get discovered. They never bury them deep enough. You've got weather conditions that expose them. Animals expose them. It's hard. You'd be surprised how difficult it is to hide a body. And I'll tell you why I know, Nick, because there's neither North or South Carolina. There's the body farm. Now, the FBI they use this as a training ground. So what happens is when the Americans die, they leave the body to science. And what they do in this ground is they put the bodies in different situations. One will be left out, one will be semi-buried, one will be fully buried, one will be buried upside down. They do all these experiments about how the decomposing the bodies helps them with the science when they find a murder victim or a body that they're not sure how it died. So, for example, if a larger man dies on his back, they can tell by the insects and how much fat has dripped out of his body underneath, how degraded the grass is and everything, to understand how long he's been decomposing for. So they know all about what happens with these bodies, how they do it. They've got all the forensic science about where they're from, and there's always genetic.
These two videos beside me are women in Congress talking about them taking away freedom of speech on social media, and they did try to block these videos, and I won, and they didn't put no stamp in front of it or anything.
Now, recently, we've learned that with the release of the Twitter files detailed by Matt Taibbi and others, high-level former FBI and CIA and other government officials were behind Hamilton 68 and their list of 644 social media accounts supposedly linked to, quote, Russian influence activities online. Now, Hamilton 68's work was widely cited as fact by institutions like Harvard and Stanford, by mainstream news organizations across the board, by members of the House of Representatives and Senate from both political parties, including the head of the Intelligence Committee. The problem is, it was false. Twitter themselves determined that the vast majority of accounts that Hamilton 68 targeted on this list of 644 were, quote, neither strongly Russian nor strongly bots, end of quote. They were mostly anti-establishment American voices from across the political spectrum. I was one of them. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton accused me, a sitting member of Congress, a soldier, and a candidate running for president, of being, quote, groomed by the Russians. Her baseless smear worked as intended. It was something that was repeated over and over, headline after headline, article after article, pushed online in every way.
This one is very important, and it's not the first one, but it's a good example of them taking it down. This is somebody speaking up, a lot of people speaking up against the and what it did to their bodies. Why aren't we allowed to hear that information?
TikTok will pump certain videos of yours once you hit certain milestones. And if you're close to a milestone, if a video already has like above average engagement, TikTok will put a lid on that. They won't let it trend until you hit that milestone. So there is one milestone that we're pretty sure is somewhere between post 20 and 45. And this might be like a cycle that TikTok goes through. And they do this so that when a creator has a video that starts to go viral, like they'll let it trend. If it's like your 35th post, you're like, oh my gosh, it's happening. Like I'm starting to go viral. Like this is it. And you're actually not. It's just like part of TikTok's algorithm boosting your content so that you get a dopamine hit as a creator and then a cortisol hit afterwards when your views drop back down and you start to obsess over like, why aren't my videos going viral again? On this app, it's impossible to have every single video go viral unless TikTok is heating your account. It's where they like pick a celebrity and they let that content go viral every single time. But for the average creator, there are event triggered mechanisms. One of them is post 20 to like 45. When you hit 10,000 followers, that's another event triggered mechanism. 300,000 followers is another milestone. 500,000 is another milestone. And they do this to suck creators deeper into the app. So there are more creators compulsively making content so that more users have more stuff to watch so they can stuff ads behind the stickiest pieces of media.